The United States can kill Canada economically, and that's what they said they're going to do. The complete discrediting of the old liberal global order. That's the international order to which Mark Carney belongs, and of course Justin Trudeau, and of course the leaders in Europe, the remaining ones anyway, the remaining liberal ones in France, Germany and Britain, and so on. That's what they belong to, and the revelation of the corruption that they have basically governed by, and the lies that they've told us, is the beginning of the end for them. Now, I think the beginning of that end might be that people revising their opinion of Mr. Carney as well on the basis of their belief that he would be the best man for the job. You have a choice here between continuity, which is basically national suicide, and some form of rapprochement with the Americans. Like them or not, you have to deal with the Americans because they are the most powerful nation in the Western sphere. And if you can't deal with them, then your country is going to suffer enormously. I think it very unlikely that the United States would use military force against Canada, because I think it unlikely that it would have to. The United States can kill Canada economically, and that's what they said they're going to do. And if they want to do that, they can do, and there's nothing anyone can do to stop them. It would be very wise indeed then to get to the root of the problem. And the Americans adduce that there is no security on the border, that Canadian law does not prevent any of that, the drug trafficking, human trafficking, or massive money laundering that's taking place, and that there's no point in trying to cooperate with the Canadian authorities because they've been corrupted by the enormous volumes of cash passing through them via the Chinese triads and the Mexican drug cartels. These claims are true. They are not simply claims made by the Trump administration. Antony Blinken, the Biden-era Secretary of State, made them as well. This goes back years. It has a very long history, and it's coming to a head. And Canadians must decide whether they want to face those facts and try and elect someone who can at least have a conversation with the Americans instead of calling them gangsters and crooks and pretending that that's going to be fine. Because Canada faces a very hard future without some form of rapprochement with the Trump administration.
Now, you saw recently that Trump said that Carney it would be better to deal with than Poilievre. That's interesting. Poilievre then turned around and said, yes, it's because, I'm a harder negotiator. It'd be easier for him to deal with Carney, and Carney would just roll over. I don't think Carney's going to roll over. Carney is hardcore globalist. Carney will, push for net zero, which will kill Canada, and it will also kill any country that goes for it. But he wants to do that anyway. So I don't think he's a pushover. But it's certainly this grandstanding, I don't think is working at all. We're not working from a position of strength, even of moral strength. And I think, of course, that's where the true Canadian line should be. We should embrace our founding values of life and family and faith. Canada, its own motto, mare ad usque mare, or something like that, from sea to sea. It's taken from the Psalms. This is a Catholic country that was established first by the missionaries from France, and they served here. It was incredible. The story of our own Canadian martyrs, I know we call them Canadian martyrs, the US calls them the North American martyrs, but nonetheless, they're real stories of incredible heroism in the founding of this nation with, yes, the British played a role too, but that was kind of brutal. But what we have here is something really beautiful. What we need to do is pick up, because also when a nation turns to God, turns from their wicked ways, he will bless their land. We need our land blessed in the biggest possible way.
I just can't imagine. I'm sitting here trying to imagine an invasion, a military invasion of the United States upon Canada. I just can't imagine it. They're our cousins. You're our cousins. We have an awful lot, just an awful lot in common. For whatever his reason, President Trump has a lot of ulterior motives for things that he says. And I really believe that's the case here. I don't believe that he's serious about that. I think it's to awaken among Canadians that same spirit that we saw, and you mentioned it, and it should be underscored, the truckers movement. I really didn't know what was happening at the beginning of it, but it was exciting. It was fulfilling. It was good. I love to see that. It's It's grassroots. And I think maybe that's what he's looking for to finish the corruption in Canada, is a grassroots movement. I'm hoping that is a military that's, let me be perfectly frank, he would lose my support as President of the United States, and I think he would lose an awful lot of support in the United States.
Aloha everyone, this is Jason Jones for LifeSite News. We hope you enjoyed this video. For more content like this, check the link in the description. You can also connect with us on social media to stay up to date with the latest news on life, faith, family, and freedom. Thanks for watching, and may God bless you.